Through a back door and down a narrow hallway, we found a tiny, squalid patio that was actually a fake drug factory, turning out an astonishing number of counterfeit medications. Peruvian police were led here by someone you wouldn't expect, John Clark, from the American drug company Pfizer.
I'm looking at this pan with these pills in it. This stuff is going to get into people's medicine cabinets around the world.
Unfortunately, yes.
Clark heads up a global security team assembled by Pfizer, former FBI, Homeland Security, and narcotics agents who work with local police to track down criminals around the world.
People can die. People can be seriously injured, but people can also die.
Kumar Kibble, Deputy Director at Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, is charged with protecting our borders from illicit trafficking. Over the past few years, his attention has increasingly focused on counterfeit drugs.
In the scheme of things, how big a threat are fake drugs?
Fake drugs are a big threat, and it is an exploding threat. You actually have traditional criminal groups that may have engaged in traditional drug trafficking, and they realize, I can make just as much money making, tens of dollars on a pill that I manufacture for pennies and have very little exposure in terms of prosecution.
At the Postal Service facility at JFK Airport, the sheer volume of packages of counterfeit and suspicious drugs coming into the country is staggering. After x-rays,
if you look closely here,
you see little round objects that don't belong.
Customs puts aside thousands for inspection.
Looks like a normal run-of-the-mill speaker.
That's every one of these bins. And this is just from one day.
Our resources certainly haven't kept pace with the volume of products coming into the country, with the increase in volume.
The Food and Drug Administration's David Elder told us when they do find a fake drug, they're often forced to ship it back to the sender. On this day, they found pills and vials from India, posing as legitimate thyroid, fertility, and hypertension medications. They had to send it all back.
That sounds crazy. Why not go after this person?
We don't have the authority to actually destroy this on site. This product could very well come back into the country through a different mail facility. Maybe it gets through, maybe it gets stopped.
But they're banking on one of these times you're going to miss.
Yeah. I think they are.
And many of these fakes are so sophisticated, even investigators at this FDA lab in Cincinnati couldn't distinguish which bottle of Zyprexa is fake with the naked eye. Using a forensic light source, they can test the ink, and the label that lights up, that's the real one. This fake Lipitor pill looks so authentic, they had to superimpose a diagram of an actual pill to see that the number 20 did not match up.
With the naked eye, you could not see this.
Drug companies say they already have their own systems in place to protect their supply chains. But they also have to worry about those clandestine labs, like the one we saw in Peru, which are popping up all around the world, according to Pfizer's John Clark.
And if there are no consequences for those doing this, then there's no disincentive not to just go back and do it again once you're caught. I mean, the profit on illegal medicines is just phenomenal.
And catching them isn't easy. At the lab in Peru, police arrested a messenger, but the kingpin of the counterfeit drug operation had slipped away.
What do you think, John? Are they going to find this guy?
They'll be lucky if they do.